Everybody asks me, why would you fish for carp? I said, well, when we take a picture, it's the only thing that's uglier than I am. So I look good in every picture on both. On a serious note, they're highly intelligent, like I just talked about. They're a very, very smart fish. And believe it or not, they have a very diverse diet. Corn, special bars, dough balls, things like that are not part of their normal diet. It's not a normal diet for any fish. Popcorn, bread, those types of things that we associate carp with are not their normal food items. Carp eat regular things. They eat crayfish, aquatic nymphs, mayfly nymphs, damselfly nymphs, dragonfly nymphs, leeches, aquatic worms. One of their all-time favorite things are small crayfish, immature crayfish. And we'll show you some of the flies that we use for these fish as well. And again, just a very, very intelligent fish. And if you go out and fish for these fish on a regular basis and you learn how to present the fly to them and you start catching carp on a regular basis, you should be proud because it is an accomplishment. It is a very, very difficult fish to catch on a consistent basis on a fly rod. And if you don't know what you're doing, you either caught one by accident or you snagged it. Okay? These fish will eat a fly. They'll eat a fly on a regular basis, but it takes understanding what they're feeding upon, understanding their body posture. They show us a lot of different things by how they move and how they react and how they're behaving. And we'll cover all those things as we go through this. Again, they're large and powerful. We take fish right in downtown Denver in excess of 30 pounds every year on a fly rod. I'm fishing a 6-weight rod loaded with a reel that's loaded with about 150 yards of backing. I've been spooled twice to the point where I lost everything. These fish will take multiple runs into your backing. So if you like to see your backing, you might give these fish a try. Because they will take you there and show. Readily available, obviously, just about any place you go in the country, you're going to find carp. Local ponds, small creeks, rivers, big lakes, you name it, you're going to find carp. And nobody's fishing for them. I don't know about you guys, but I like to go out and spend a little time by myself when I go fishing. And that's why I've kind of gotten away from the trout mentality and started going around chasing some of these other species around. Because, well, it used to be we'd go out and have the river and Tyler to ourselves. But we went down to our favorite spot the other day, and there was 8 people down there fly fishing for carp. And every one of them goes, I know you. Pretty fish, aren't they? Really? Oh, I bet. Just to give you an idea of some of these fish that we're pulling out of the Platte. This is South Platte, just south of downtown Denver. That fish there was 32 pounds. It was so fat it could barely swim. It's the funniest fight I've ever had on a fish on a fly rod. She just kept kind of leaning to one side. But you can see I was fishing a big crayfish pattern that she took. But again, one of the things I enjoy so much about fly fishing is being able to sight fish and sight cast a fish and see how they react to the flies that I'm presenting to them, and to see how they react to my presentations. And this is a fish that will give you that opportunity, especially in clear water situations. Bill Ribbit, this guy, a friend of mine who was a purist, and now he's a carpaholic. Yes, I have seen a doctor about that too. Big misconceptions about carp is everybody thinks they're a trash fish. Again, they can live in some pretty unruly waters where most fish can't survive, but here again, why do we knock a fish that survives in water that we tore up? instead of admiring a fish it has the ability to adapt and survive in that type of water. The other big misconception is everybody thinks carp are bottom feeders, and they are to a degree, but not in the sense that they're feeding on muck and crud and things like that along the bottom. They're bottom feeders in the sense that bonefish are. Back in the 1940s, bonefish were known as saltwater suckers. Today, people will spend $5,000 to travel to the ends of the globe to fish for them. So, carp got a way to come over in this part of the world, but over in Europe, they're very highly looked upon. Another big misconception is carp will not eat a fly. Well, no, if you don't present it to them right, and if it's not what they're looking for, you're right, they won't eat it. So we'll talk about those things. But, you know, and people say, well, why, you know, carp aren't any fun to catch. Well, how many of you have ever accidentally hooked a carp and not known it, and had the time of your life only to get it to the end of the, get it up to you and you go, crap, that's a carp. That's the biggest brown trout I ever caught. But some of these fish are cool. They're amazing. We do have some different, this is a partially scaled mirror carp. So you'll see them in some different variations, different scaling patterns. They also have leather carp that have no scales on them whatsoever. And then we have grass carp, and I've got some pictures of those. Grass carp are really not a carp at all. They're fairly far down on the family tree as far as carp go. But this picture here shows the carp surface feeding, which has an affectionate name called plooping. And that's the noise they make as they're sucking stuff off the top. And when there's about 100 of them up on top, you can hear them a mile away. But again, we catch them in small creeks that basically, seemingly, would have nothing in them that are full of carp. And again, you get opportunities to go fish and wet a line in places that you know, you might normally not get a chance to do. We've caught them during every month of the year now. They do not fight well during the winter months, I will tell you that. How many of you ever hooked an old shoe and drug it in? That's what a carp fights like during the winter time. They will eat, and they do feed on a regular basis, but landing them is not that much fun. I mean, the reason I fish for them is the sight fishing possibilities, the precise presentations, the finesse it takes to get them to eat a fly, and then the raw power that these fish possess during the warmer months. But we have caught them in snowstorms like you see there. So again, types of carp: common carp, mirror carp, leather carp, grass carp, and there are now Asian carp starting to infest waterways across the country. Asian carp are primarily algae and plankton feeders, so I haven't figured out a fly for that yet, but we're working on it. Again, this is the partially scaled mirror carp. You get these big oversized scales. They're about this big. And over in Europe, they actually crossbreed these fish so they can get these different types of variations. And they raise them where there's no scales on them whatsoever as leather carp, and they'll get the mirrored, and then just the regular fully scaled. This is a partially scaled leather.